When lockdown was announced in early March, I was a bit perplexed like everyone. I live with my roommates. Apart from my work times, how long can I keep staring at television or even my roommates? I had to find some kind of entertainment outlet to keep my mind active, some kind of activity which keeps my brain fresh. All we had left was few tennis balls and a tennis racket. The Indian in me rose up. We are big fans of cricket. Cricket is a sport similar to baseball. Imagine instead of it has a bat and a ball. It's pretty similar. So, and where do you play cricket? We can't even go outside, and playing tennis in the ground is not an option because of a lockdown situation. So we had to maximize the space that we had. That's why we picked our patio. Gully cricket is nothing like we make our own rules on top of existing rules in cricket, depending on the space and availability of area. So it's more like the rules that you made up than the existing ones in cricket. So let me just show a quick view of the patio. So this is one of the 2D view of the patio. If you see, just follow my mouse pointer. So we use this one as a bowling end. So this one has a glass window and this one has a door which is shared with the hall. The other side has a window and a wall which is shared with a master bedroom, and the other two sides are having partial walls and it's quite open space. If you want to look at the other view, just over here. And in case you are having difficulty, there is a 3D representation of the same thing, which I asked my roommate to do it. If you still have difficulty in recognizing this, then you are in luck today. Can you see my other screen? Please look at the other screen of mine. And if you see, this is the open space that we have. And this is the patio. So let me just move on to the quick facets of the game. One is batting and bowling. Batting is the person who holds the bat and tries to score something called as a run. Bowler is the one who bowls the ball. In case there are 3 players, other person becomes a fielder. And for a 2-player game, a maximum of 6 balls, possible balls will be bowled. There is a reason why I say possible. If it is a 3 players, the maximum of 12 balls, which will be shared between 2 people, one a fielder and one a bowler. Then I say possible because there is a means in which a batsman can transfer control to a bowler. Just like imagine 4 and outs. When there is a 4 and out, offense becomes defense, defense becomes offense. Similarly, when a batsman gets out, the bowler becomes a batsman. So there are different ways of getting out. So these are the things that are present. One is the ball directly going outside of the patio. As you can observe, there are a lot of open spaces. The balls will be bowled at constant pace. There will be no slow balls. So if you hit it outside, it's out. If it directly hits any part of the wall, for example, any part of the wall or a glass door, anything, that's an out. And the other way is the fielder can directly catch the ball or a bowler can directly catch the ball. And one more way is like the ball pitches once on the ground and you catch with a single hand. It's not a double hand because we came up with that as a compromise and a trade-off between the batsman and the bowler. So, and even the one pitch, one hand is discounted when it has a wobble. For example, you are not supposed to catch with this. And you follow an asterisk, I will explain that part. The reason for asterisk is without body support. If you catch it and it hits any part of the body other than your palms and fingers, it's counted as not out. Now we saw the modes of getting out. Let's quickly check the ways of scoring runs. So can you see the numbers marked as 0, 1, 2, and 4? So there are 3 possible ways you can actually score positive runs. So we made use of the natural line, which is located in the patio. And if the ball crosses that line, it is a 1. And any of the side walls, if you can see the videos which I'm pointing right in my other camera. So if the ball hits any part of that wall on a pitch, it is 2 runs. And if the ball hits any part of the straight bowler end, that is counted as 4 runs. And there are few exceptions to that. I will come back to that. So now you understand basic positive run scoring over here. So example scoring system. For example, there are 3 players involved and the first player scored 12, second one scored 10, third player scored 11. At the end of the game, the person who scored maximum runs is the winner and so on. There is another example in which the player 3 becomes the winner on the pursuit of scoring maximum runs. So we face a lot of challenges. I'm not kidding. One is called short ball conundrum. Are you confused? Short ball is what when the ball is pitched in middle of the patio and the ball rises to the height of the hips of the batsman. So the thing is, to count as a legal delivery, it usually should be the exact hip height. We always ended up having a constant argument. The bowler will argue that after bowling a short ball that it's always below the batsman's hip, whereas the batsman will say it's always above. It's an illegal delivery. We even went to the extent of keeping a video camera to monitor and replay short balls, but better sense prevails. So what we did, we just stuck a paper. We came up with some kind of an average height. If the ball hits below the paper or on the paper, it is a fair and legal delivery. If it is above, it's an illegal delivery. So what was our other fix? We were caught in a confusion of how we are going to retrieve the deposit back. For example, do you see the glass region over here? Let me just quickly hit the ball in the other area. Imagine the ball being hit to that glass 1,000 times with more force. We were scared for our deposit. We had to do up with something so that we get our deposit back. So what we did, we ended up with something called as -1 run. So with the -1 run, whenever the ball strikes here on the pitch or whatever, it is always -1. So it kind of discouraged the batsman from hitting there. That's what we thought. So we ended up having some matches, as you can observe in the scores. Player who scored 0 runs ended up being the winner because player who scored the second one scored -1 by striking once on the glass, and player who was playing third scored -2 by striking twice on the glass. The third thing, as I would like to call, was infinite leaps. You can see a lot of open spaces. When the ball is bowled at faster pace and it has short balls, it's very hard to play with any sort of control. The ball constantly keeps out. Being a programmer, I love the concept of infinite loop, which is like doing the same thing again and again. Infinite leap is when the ball goes out, we have to leap out of the parapet wall and get out and get back in to retrieve the ball and then continue playing. This happened a lot of times. To discourage that, we introduced something called as 1 per over. If the ball hits any part of the bat and bounces, even though it goes for a 4, it's allowed only once. If that same thing happens again, it will be just counted as a single run. Apart from this, there is something called as extras. If you can observe closely, over here close to my mouse pointer, in the blue line, there is a tape attached. The ball was coming to the batsman even before he was lowering his bat. How can he play? To ensure some kind of a fairness, we establish a line. The ball should pitch at least once before entering the batsman. The ball should pitch exactly 1 time before crossing that blue line. If it pitches beyond that blue line, it's counted as 1 run. Similarly, the batsman should be able to reach the ball on his side too. Do you observe the red lines on the right and the left? For a right-hand batsman, if the ball crosses the red zone, it's a wide, it's a 1 run. For a left-handed batsman, similarly, the red line is counted as 1 run. So when it is an extra, the ball doesn't count. Batsman can't be out, and it's always 1 additional run. So what was the first that we had while playing quarantine cricket? I personally observed that my productivity at work increased. At least while I was going to work, we always had constant playing of table tennis during our break rooms, during break times. So it was like kind of similar one, I would say. I observed that my productivity increased a lot, and it also helped me stay alive despite lockdown. And it's a cheap and engaging fun source of entertainment. When the lockdown was announced, we could have become depressed and taken different kinds of routes. But with whatever limited options available, we tried to maximize what we had and ended up being positive and had a mental health, took care of the mental health, which is a very essential part. I believe that everybody needs to see positives in negatives. If you want to play game of gully cricket at my place, reach out to me, Mr. Toastmaster.